Good morning, and welcome to this panel session we've got this morning about warewashing, automation in warewashing, kindly sponsored by Meiko, thank you. And also we're very lucky to be joined by two leading consultants, FCSI members. So thank you very much for joining me. If I could ask you all to just introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about who you are, where you work, and your area of expertise. Sean?
Hi, Sean Callnin. I'm a president of Ricca Design Studios, a food service consulting firm in the U.S. primarily, with offices in China and most recently in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia as well. But happy to be here.
Yeah, my name is Thomas Loos. I'm working for Meiko dishwashing company. So I'm the head of the global professional business unit Clean. Clean stands for warewashing.
And last but not least, Thomas Mertens from Germany, SAM Strategy Consultants, also professional member of the FCSI, board member in Germany and also in the EMI board. And I work now for the last 8 years about digitalization and also process and workflow optimization without and with humans. So that's my profession.
Okay, thank you. And I should say, my name is Tina Nielsen, and I'm the editor of FCSI's Food Service Consultant magazine. So, we're going to talk about warewashing and where it is at the moment and recent developments, future developments. But I think just to set off, it would be really great if we could kind of set the scene a little bit and if you could tell me about, say, the last 10, 15 years in warewashing. What did it look like 15 years ago, and how much has it evolved? Is it a fast-moving market segment? I don't know. Do you want to go first, Sean?
Sure. Well, when I think of it, mostly the changes that have occurred in the last 10, 50 years are really about energy consumption. Reducing the amount of water that's used, using the amount of electricity that's used. Insulated dish machines was a new thing back then. We all wanted to specify them. Now it's very common to have them and really have not seen a dish machine that's uninsulated in a very long time. So it's really about energy consumption, I think. It's the biggest change.
Okay. Thomas Mertens?
So, in my opinion, the last 15 years we come from a classic man caves. It's not so pretty, not so shining, to high-tech situation and all friendly, lighting, working space, and yes, bring also the consuming of energy, water, also the chemicals, the soaps is important. And we have, in my opinion, always less space as before. So the space will always be smaller and smaller, and we have always more dishes or other cutleries inside to bring it clean and get new regulations also from the government about the hygienic standards from both, from the food waste and also for the dishes and for the cutleries, no? In my opinion.
Okay. And from the manufacturer's point of view, Thomas, how do you see it?
Yeah, when we talk to the customer and also to the chefs and the operators 10, 15 years ago, so there was always a discussion about running costs. Running costs, that means the consumption of energy, water, chemicals, and so on. So, and I would say we did this job. So as the manufacturer did the job. Now we have a reduction when we're talking about energy more than 50%. And also water more than 70%, also in combination with the chemicals. And it was more or less forbidden, especially in the European area, to touch the stuff. So at that time, when you pointed out, we can also reduce stuff. So it was more or less forbidden, otherwise you get in struggle with the labor union, so for example. And this situation changed completely.
How?
Yeah, this is, I would say 5-6 years, since 5-6 years, we talk more about labor costs. And the COVID pandemic, let's say, get a situation the situation changed tremendously because the restaurants were closed, the hotels were closed, the operators lost the job, and then they moved to grocery stores and other facilities, and to grab them back is nearly impossible. So, and this is a completely changed situation, and now we have to talk more and more. How can we solve these problems? So, how can we reduce staff because you can't find the right people, especially for dishwashing areas, and now we have to solve this problem.
Okay. From your point of view, Sean, is that what Thomas is talking about? Is that what you see as well as a consultant in your work with clients and on projects?
Absolutely. In the U.S., everybody left workers left the industry, and they're really not coming back in droves. And it's labor's an issue in every market in food service throughout the country. And this is an opportunity for automation, I believe. Certainly, there's huge investments that have to be made. ROI analysis to bring in these automated systems to help with the labor issue are very important. But yeah, and especially in the dish room as well. The luxury markets or the high-end restaurants are having a little bit more success, but beyond that, the labor's an issue everywhere.
Yeah, I wonder if I think dishwashing is probably not something that people generally think much about. We think there's a shortage of staff. We think of the effect in the kitchen, think of the impact on front of house. But what does it mean in practice when you say you can't attract staff to work in the dishwashing area? What does that mean?
We started, let's say, testing the market 5-6 years ago. And we launched a new product. It was a new hood type machine with an automatic hood. So, and we figured out when we steer the complete process, when we steer the operators, then we can reduce time and do it in an ergonomic way that the operator do not move the hood. This is not the best work to do. So then we can reduce time and make the let's say the dishwashing area more comfortable. Yeah. So, and they enjoyed that, and then we have to think about how can we reduce labor. So, and I can tell you we have currently 2 test field installation at 2 universities, and there is an automation device between the conveyor system and the fly type machine, and we reduced labor by 50 to 70%. So that means instead 2 or 3 people, we need now only 1 person. And now we have a combination to reduce labor, but also to get a more ergonomic working place. And the other thing is the COVID pandemic created a new situation because the chefs do not know how many eaters do I have tomorrow or in 1 week. So in with this automation equipment, we can also be more flexible. So, and it doesn't matter if you have 600 eaters or 1,200 eaters, you can steer the complete system only with 1 person.
Okay. Thomas, in the area where you work, do you agree with what Sean was saying? Do you see the same thing about people leaving, not coming back, and there's a need for the increased automation in more areas?
Sure. We have all the same problems in our branch.
Yeah.
Because it's our branch is standing behind in the 80s, still standing. So how they act with the people, how they work with the people, which kind of device they give to the people. So that's all 30 years ago, normally. After the pandemic now, they think about, okay, now the people are working at Amazon or other branches, and maybe they earn a little bit more money as before, but it's not the point. The point is they get the human touch there. So you are important here. You get modern devices on your working space for your workflow, and it's transparency inside how efficiency you are work. And when you are efficiency for the company and also efficiency for your team, then you get a feedback, a positive feedback. And if you are not, you get the advice to go on an e-learning situation or you go on a training with somebody. So there is a full new situation how you act with your labor in the future. And this is what Thomas says, one important part from our industry, that they bring technical options in the line, yes. But the next important thing is that we have to bring as consultants, as professionals, to our clients a new view how to act with technical, with automatical, and also with the humans, and how they are thinking about it. And that's it's important for our future all.
I think when we talk about automation, there's a lot of people see in their minds robotic arms, and it's cooking related. It's burger flippers and salad mixers. What does it look like in practice in warewashing automation? Sean?
Sure. Well, it's certainly a lot of conveyor systems. We're working on some large corporate campuses in the U.S. where we have food halls up on the upper level and dish rooms, commissary kitchens down below. So a lot of vertical conveyors coming down, and then what happens with those trays. And certainly trays are important. There's been a big trend to have trayless cafeterias operating systems as well. So the decisions to have trays, the permanent ware versus disposables. Sustainable practice says permanent ware. So what do you do with all those dishes when they're coming down from different levels and moving towards the dish room? Then the automatic systems for getting into the scrapping area, then where the food waste goes away from that, even getting into the waste star systems and getting into anaerobic digestion with the slurry systems and so forth. So it's really movement, conveyor automation of movement to the stations where the actual then labor happens.
Yeah. And how much do you see it in the projects you work on?
We propose it quite a bit where it makes sense in a large dining venue where you have the volume to do it, and there's opportunity for the labor savings that we're talking about. Investment in those systems, quite a huge investment, so we try to ask and conduct the ROI analysis to make sure that it makes sense. Unfortunately, that investment becomes too big and mechanical. Everybody's afraid of big mechanical system and what happens if one part goes down and that whole conveyor goes down. But I think companies like Meiko, who really have invested a lot into that technology, make it a very simple system with simple parts is the key. So we talk about it, we study it together with that ROI analysis, and unfortunately, most of the time those big automatic systems they're kind of a scary investment to get into. The waste systems, on the other hand, make a lot more sense with sustainability efforts these days and what to do with food waste. We're finding a lot more easier to get those in place.
Yeah, okay. And Thomas, how long have you been working on automation and warewashing? Well, is it a fast-moving area? Is it something that you invest a lot in?
We were thinking about 6-7 years ago, what can we do when we talk about automation? And yes, of course, at first you think about robots. So this is the first impression, what can we do with robots? And then we figured out immediately it doesn't make sense. Not at the moment. Maybe in the future, but at the moment, and this is absolutely right, we need simple system that you can use, that you can clean, that you can operate with, and so on. So, and with the new automation equipment, what we have, for example, you can deal with the system on a higher level. So normally a person in front of a dishwashing machine, of a fly type machine, can handle around 30 dirt dishes, not more, bowls, plates, and so on. With the new automation device, that the people can handle 60 items per minute. There's a complete different situation. And when you would like to handle 60 dishes per minute, via robot, for example, then you need 4 robot arms, because we figured out one robot arm can handle 50 items per minute, not more. So it's impossible. And we discussed this also with university. They were, let's say, study all the ethics and so on. So, and then we had to think about what can we do to bring more automation into the dishwashing area, but without robots. So, and now we have new automation equipment, and with this automation equipment, we can fulfill the customer requirements, because it's not to install robots, you have to fulfill the customer requirements. And then you can think in different ways, how can we fulfill these requirements? So, and then this is absolutely true. We have to install simple systems that you can use in a simple way, that you can clean easily, and so on. So, and this is our way we follow now. And maybe in the future we will see human robots like Terminators, hopefully not Terminators, but things like that. And but this is future. This is future. We can talk about this, but to solve the customer problems, currently we have to find other ways.
So it's still fairly early days in the automation and warewashing. It's still early in development.
Yes. Yeah. When we talk about robots, a robot need a good surrounding. So that means when you do the comparison to the car industry, so it's always the same work what a robot is doing, and it's good that a robot is doing the same work. Then you get quality. But in the dishwashing area, the trays came back with dirt dishes. So one of the topic is the dirt, and the other thing is where are the dishes placed, and then also double layers, so plates, bowls, and so on. So to grab them with a robot is a difficult situation. Then you need artificial intelligence, and then the next question will be, if you have such kind of installation, who supports the system? If you have a failure, who gets get care about the software, for example? So if you have technician in the facility, they can do the service for the dishwashing machine. They can also do the service for the automation equipment if it is simple. So, but if you have robots, then you need other people to do the service for the robots.
Thomas Mertens, do you have any experience of speaking with customers who've installed these automated systems in warewashing, and what kind of impact do you see it having? What kind of benefits do you see it directly having on the operation?
So we have a lot of impact in front of us. So Thomas told us, I don't know, next steps is AI or some combination of robots. We call it in the consultancy branch, we talk about cobotters, because there will be work in the first step. We are now together with humans, and that's very important, and that's also different in my view and our for clients. And I think automatization begins in this point when we take any tools or trolleys, whatever, to make something easier and bring more in front as a human being can do.
Absolutely.
That's for me automatization. So, and that we do to the last 20 years or 30 years when we bring in the branch the GN trail, in my opinion. And that's normally in part of our branch. So what is new is we're talking about now situation there's nobody in the hospitality branch experience. So that means, in my view, and we discussed it also with the colleagues from the EMI and the Americans and all over the world, FCSI colleagues, what we have to do, we have the last years the view from the industry to our branch, what there can be offered. And that's only a part from the industry. but we have no platform and no association and nothing that takes a view from our clients with her problems and bring them the information how we can act for the future. And this information is important also for the industry, the hardware industry, software industry, AI industry, whatever, that will become all over again. And this is our important job to bring it in the future in front, that we have our own digitalization society only for hospitality. And then make it in combination, we call it E-Class. E-Class is working now for close 20 years. It's founded by the big ones, Siemens, SAP, Bosch, whatever, they are all in. And they can say you, we know 20 years ago, when we have no system and no clear roadmap, how we can combine different kind of softwares to bring it in communication in a clear line, technology open-based, we have no chance for our future. So, and I call these guys also, so where is the chapter from the hospitality branch? Oh, sorry, Thomas, we have only food service industry, the big ones, Nestle and whatever. I say, okay, that's nice, but the hospitality branch is also a big one worldwide. So they think about it, say, yes, we need also your data from the hospitality for the facility management, for ERP systems, whatever. They have a lot of chapters. And so we have now the chance to bring in a new chapter, the cross expert chapter and the E-Class over the new association. And we can bring our old knowledge with the new knowledge in front with one semantic and software interface communication technology open. And that is our chance to bring everybody in front in the table, but in the view and the look from our clients and not only from industry. And that's maybe the big point for us.
Yeah, okay. We spoke a little bit at the top of the session about how the focus used to be on consumption and usage and energy and water, and now people are looking very much at labor cost. I wonder how important is automation in terms of sustainability? Does it have sustainability benefits to bring in automation? Does it cut usage because it's all automated?
Absolutely. There is a benefit because this is also what you pointed out when we're talking about food waste. So we combine more and more all the systems. So, and it's not only to collect all the food waste. So if you do not put the food waste into the drain water, for example, then you do also a lot for the sustainability because the water is more clean. So, and then also you can grab out the food waste also with other systems. So we offer such kind of systems also. And but I would like to come back how the future looks like, because what Thomas said and what you said, I'm absolutely agree. For example, you can't sell digitalization. You can't sell digitalization. You can sell the benefit from it. And this is very important what you pointed out, the customer's point of view. And this is what we are more concentrate on in the former time. So we were more concentrate as a manufacturer. So that means our owner knows what a customer needs, but don't talk with them. So now this situation changed completely. We installed, for example, product management, and the product manager, the task is to go out to the customer, discuss with the customer what they have, not only the problems, also the tasks, and fulfill the task in a better way. This is very important. And this is what we see in the future, but that, let's say to see the real product as a result of the discussion, that needs also time. But we will follow this way because this is the only way what we can go, because I absolutely agree, we have to fulfill the customer needs. And the customer needs, it could be also as a result of the corona pandemic, change immediately from one day to the other. And then we have to act on this. And this is very important. And then so when we're talking about digitalization, we are also thinking about digitalization. But we think about the customer benefits and then which kind of digitalization do we need to fulfill this. This is very important. It's not only that digitalization and connectivity to your machines. The question is, what is the benefit for the customer when we're talking about digitalization?
So, Thomas, today it's your lucky punch. You get your first and free advice from the FCSI all over the world. When we start about with our clients talk about digitalization and future, that's one simple question what we give all these clients in front. What is digitalization? And they are all going, oh, this, and say, we know, we break the discussion and say, digitalization is find knowledge. Whatever you need, you have to remember, find knowledge. And if you have this in your mind, then you can go on the road map with digitalization. Because then will the client, you say, okay, I need this information, I need this knowledge, and then you can make a roadmap. And that is the only right way to bring it in front of the branch.
Yeah, absolutely right. And this is exactly what you point out. It's not only to get data, so it's also the question, what can you do with the data? So this is very important. And we were also thinking about, I can tell you the truth, we are looking also what the competitors are doing, and sometimes we figure out it doesn't make sense. And also what we are doing, sometimes it doesn't make sense. And we have to go deeper into discussion with the clients, what the real needs are. And then we came, for example, to predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance. This is also very important. The customer asks us, what can I do when the machine is broken? What can I do? Not what can you do, what can I do? And then we have to give them the answer. And for this, we need also digitalization.
Yes.
No? So this is one example.
And you will see everybody in our hospitality branch is an pure passion people. He would like to bring a friendly situation, unbelievable moments to her guests. That is why they go in this branch. And they will never be experts of software, AI, or robots, or whatever. So and I'm very proud to announce, and to discuss it also on the EMI board, we founded now the Hospitality Loop Society. That's part of the E-Class with the cross chapter, expert cross chapter, and that will be bring also a label in front like TÜV or whatever. And so can our clients see in one step, okay, your machine has it, this software has it, this label in front, and I put all together, bring it on my platform, in my shell, and I have the data where I find my knowledge. And that is the important key for us all, to bring all on the table and take the view from the clients, or not only from one branch or software or whatever, or engineers.
And this opens the next topic, because the manufacturers are thinking about how can I do connectivity and so on. And they do it in different ways. But to bring this all together on one platform, this is the key. So then we have to think about not on our own systems, so we have to think about, for example, a cloud. And then you can share this information so via the cloud, let's say with the interface, what can we do?
We have different interfaces and we have different devices, and it will be always the same in our branch. So
Absolutely.
You have machines from this manufacturer and this software from this and this and this. But what we need and what we founded now is a table where everybody can work with us, transparency, open-minded, technology open-minded, and that's the next important key, trust this platform. So when your client says, I would like to have you, and you are on his own shell, on his platform, and there are the data. So your concurrent get no data. Only your client would like to share with them maybe. But if you agree and say, no, we put it you and we trust you, you are our client, then we have the future. So we have no chance with modular systems for the future, and that is important. So with this new table, we bring transparency inside, and we bring an open trust situation for everybody. And nobody has to be disappointed or maybe it's not so good, we work together, whatever. So that will be eliminated forever in the future, and that's important.
So there's a lot of work to do and a lot of good stuff to come.
It's running very well because the guys from E-Class worked now 20 years for this, so we have a little bit, bring inside more information from our branch, but it's a very, very best of breed situation.
Sure.
So they do a lot of work. And we have only to bring it together with our branch, and then we are in front all.
Sure.
And have the opportunity to make a big step in our evolution.
Great stuff.
What I feel.
Sorry, Thomas. I want to talk about the future, and this is a link to the future. What does the future look like in automation and warewashing and generally? There's clearly a lot of work to be done still and a lot of potential to explore. Sean, from your point of view, how do you see the direction of travel and development here? And also, what would you like to see when you think about what you can provide to your clients, what you can recommend to your clients? What would you like to see coming up?
Sure, I just think labor. That's the pandemic brought this around. It's changed the world, and the costs are not going to go down. They're going to continue to go up. Labor is going to continue to be an issue, but I think companies like Meiko have already got the solution in their automation. The parts are there. The flexibility is there to design all kinds of automatic systems, whether it's before the machine, after the machine. There's all different components that you can address the labor issue, Willie. It doesn't have to be an all-in investment, but I think more and more clients of ours are going to look at the automation as a solution to it. And again, I keep coming back to the ROI and analysis to make sure that they understand what is the payback period? When is this going to pay for itself? And that's really what has to be addressed. Where everybody's addressing energy consumption and sustainability, labor is going to continue to be the big issue, I think.
Yeah. Okay. And you, Thomas? Loos?
Yeah, labor is a huge topic. Labor is a huge topic to think about how can we deal with this. It's also not only that we reduce labor, it's also that we create better working places, more ergonomic and so on. And for the future, this is also what you point out, data are very important, and what can you do with this? It's not only to collect the data, so that you can do better, or that you can create better conditions, also especially in the dishwashing area, and also to steer or to control the complete system in a better way. And the other thing is, we have more or less the same situation like the car manufacturers to move more from the mechanicals to the electrical to the digitalization. And to find the right people, this is not so easy, that they understand what they have to do in the future. And then when we collect all the data in a cloud to provide this is exactly what you point out. Not all data are needed for our customer, and we can provide it also easily, for example, via REST IPA. This is a surface interface, and then we can easily share these data. And I think that will be our biggest topic for the future. Labor, of course, and then also digitalization, and what is the benefit about the digitalization for the customer.
And I guess how the two link together as well.
Absolutely.
Labor, yeah. And Thomas, final words to you. How do you
Thank
see
you,
the future?
Tina. Yeah, bright, very bright. Because we have all spoken about energy and water and labor, but I think when we make it in the right way, we can bring complete new situation on the market and chances to the market. Maybe cooperation between 30 restaurants in a circle from 10 miles. They put all their stuff together, bring it in one central kitchen for dishwashing, not cooking, only dishwashing. So, and they work together, maybe. No? So always we can do also, I call it a second work situation or second worker situation. So you have your first work with 8 hours per hour and you need a second work for 4 hours. You go in a dishwasher, professional. There's a night area, working space, because normally in the restaurants, or most of them, need a dishwasher close 3 or 4 hours, but they're working 8 hours with it. So what do we do with the other 4? So if we would like to reduce the labor cost, so cut off 4 hours, you have save a lot of money. Huh? And that is the situation what we can realize with the new technology, what is coming in front now with us. And when we are all together smart and bring it right in front and share our information, then we have a bright future all together, I believe.
I would like to add something, and
Go
you
for
are
it.
totally right, because we have this trend in the Asia region. They collect the dishes from different restaurants, bring it to one station, clean it, separate it, and put it out to the restaurants back. So we have this situation, and we will see this more and more in the future. You're absolutely right. And the field is wide open, and we will see a lot of tasks in the future, and that means also we have a lot of opportunities in the future. It's also great.
It's fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Now, we do have time for 1 or 2 questions, if there are any questions. Mike?
Thank you. Sean, you were talking about, I guess, the conveyor systems. These are big systems. How is it impacting how you look at things like life cycle management? Thomas's point about preventative maintenance. Because there are lots of moving parts, the intention is to make these simple systems and simple to use, but they're also sizable. How is it changing the maintenance aspect and how you're talking to clients about that?
Sure. Well, it's very important to have that kit of parts, that attic stock of parts that you can obtain with the original specified system, the original installed system. So having those parts available, making sure we're always asking about the service contracts, the service systems that are available, how quick can you get those people on site? What's the training, ongoing training videos that are available, the training that goes to the on-site maintenance crew, and I think keeping the system simple. When you look at these massive automated systems, they're pretty scary to look at. They're pretty amazing to watch. But when you explain the simplicity of it and how simple it is to change out a gasket or an O-ring and those things, you take that scary component away. And many clients, they will look at something like that and say, that's too much mechanical, too much could go wrong. And you really have to explain the simplicity and make sure that the parts are available, the crew is trained to repair it, and then if what happens in a catastrophic situation, how quickly, what has the manufacturer done to have that service company available, how quickly you can get there. All those questions are going to be asked. You've got to be prepared with those answers, and I think great companies like Meiko have designed all that strategy and have the answers to those questions. So.
Great. Thomas
Thank you.
Thomas, and thank you so much to Meiko for sponsoring this panel. And thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.